Good morning, book besties. How are y'all doing? Today I'm going to meet up with my friend Lois.
Hoi, ik ben Lois van Boeken
in Utrecht, and we are going to do a little book swap. I'm very excited. I've been thinking long and hard about what book I should get her, but I think I got it. It is very much Gilmore Girls Hoa Hoa weather. It is ultra fall. The leaves are everywhere. There's also a storm raging through the country right now, which is a little bit scary. We're going to the station, we're going to take the train, and we're going to meet up with my friend.
I do not have a plan. I just asked and checked, what do you read? And she reads a lot of fantasy, thriller. I'm right now in a horror era. I'm curious to find something creepy for her, but she's right now at the horror selection, so I'm gonna wait for a second. I am also reading a lot of literature right now, and like weird fiction is also sometimes horror, so maybe it also fits the vibe. I think I'm gonna do something in that corner for her, but I'm not sure yet. We'll see what we'll come across. She's not gonna buy a physical copy, so she's gonna buy it on her kobo. I mean, we have free range. I can also scout the internet if I'm not finding what I want in here. Okay, she just told me she reads this series, so this is a big thriller series. Good to know. I mean, it might be a little bit boring to go for Stephen King. I don't know if she reads Stephen King at all. Could be cool though, could be cool. I haven't read this. It's by a Dutch author, but it's English, so that could be cool. But I hear mixed reviews on this. It's like a witchy book, so it's also kind of spooky. Right, I feel like a Riley Sager book could be cool. Do you want to look upstairs, because there's more like the literary fiction going on. Something weird lit could be cool as well. There she goes. It's one of my favorites this year, but I picked it for something else last time, so it feels a bit boring if I choose it again. I find it so hard to figure out what to do. I always get a brain fart when I'm in the store because so many options. But this one, I really liked. It was very creepy, but interesting, nicely written. I have 3 selection. I love this cover. I haven't read this, but it intrigues me. It's more of a thriller. So I think something she would pick up herself. Diavola, which I enjoyed myself. Only it's kind of like a summer horror, but I think still enjoyable in spooky season. And it creeped me out. Then I have this one. The Final Girl Support Group. And I really like this one. It was very fun. It was really like the slasher type of stuff going on, like for the vibes. I really like the slasher vibes, but I don't know if she likes slasher vibes. Don't think she has read them, but I am not sure. And now I don't know which one should be the final pick. It's so hard. I'm gonna think this over. The thought process was I want to do something weird or creepy or scary, maybe something you wouldn't pick up yourself, but I'm not sure. I tried to like look at your Goodreads. I ended up with 2 books I both really enjoyed, both not perfect books, but both were just very fun, horror-ish. And then I wasn't sure if I should go to like a slasher side or ghost side. Which one? I will not like change my choice, but I'm curious, which one would you prefer, saying ghost or slasher?
Maybe. Sometimes I find ghosts in books kind of like, okay.
Boring?
Yeah, not boring, but more just like weird as in unbelievable, but slasher, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, I would fear for my life as well, girl. I got you.
I'm gonna. Oh,
I've seen you talk about this.
yeah.
Oh my
I didn't want to be boring to pick it for you, but I saw it and was like, oh my god, I did really like this.
Yes. Okay, no, that's perfect because indeed I have been thinking about getting this book at some point because in general, I thought this one was very good. Like
You didn't-
from what
Okay,
people
okay,
have said.
okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
haven't
No, no,
read
no,
it,
no,
right?
no, no,
No,
no,
no,
no, no, no. But from what people have said, I'm like, okay, this sounds good. Yeah. Now I'm curious what the other one was.
The other one was Diavola. Family goes on trip to an Italian Airbnb, but it was in the summer, so it's like a summer read, but very creepy.
Yeah.
I was kind of spooked, and I don't get really spooked from like ghost-ish
Yeah.
stories. So I was like, I don't know.
But
oh my
for
god.
this one, we're going to read this one. It's time. I started the Final Girls support group last night and I'm currently already 25% of the way through. It's flying by. I really, really like it so far. I didn't expect the women to be old. For some reason, I thought these were young women. Maybe I just didn't read the back properly. Honestly, I didn't really read the back properly. Sorry. But so far, I'm loving it. We are following a group of women who are all final girls, but in the 80s. And they are now, it's like, I don't know what year it is right now, but more closer to the now. So all these women are like, not old yet, but like they are older women. They're probably in like their 50s, their 60s, etc. They are not like 17-year-olds anymore. And I actually quite like that because most of the time we have this hyper focus on like these really young spring chickens, these beautiful, beautiful women that can do anything and also control anything because of their beauty. And you know, that's fine and all, but sometimes it's a little bit refreshing to see a bit of a change. One thing I really like is that there's pictures in it. There's like pictures from news articles and other types of articles, cutouts from doctors and from journalists and like people who have documented things about this group or these women or the phenomenon Final Girl. I feel like this lady, I love to read her routine. It's written from the eye perspective, but in this case it makes so much sense. It's usually not my favorite type of perspective to read from. I prefer like the third person perspective, but in this case I love it because it feels so deep and personal because we are literally in her mind and she behaves a certain way because she went through trauma a few years ago, long time ago already, but like it stuck with her for all these years, the way she behaves, the way she moves around, the way she never takes the same route to go home and she makes these really big circles to make sure that nobody follows her. I'm really enjoying it. I've read not some reviews, but when I put it on my Goodreads and my Fable, I saw some reviews and the book is not super highly rated. It has like a 3.6, but I feel like for now, like I have no idea what's gonna come. I just got into a part where there's a little bit of like action going on. Very intrigued. It is a little bit past 3. I have some editing to do, but I also really want to read this book. So maybe I'll just do both. Maybe I'll just make a little coffee to get a little bit of kick of energy and make sure that I can do both. Hello friends, how are you doing? It's been a few days since I finished the Final Girls support group. I wanted to give myself a few days before I gave my thoughts about the book. Not because I had a lot to process or anything, but I just didn't want to give my opinion right away and I wanted to let it simmer, to let it marinate for a little bit. As briefly mentioned in my video before, I read the first half, or not, first half I guess, but like the first 30 to 40% very quickly and I was really intrigued, but after that it started to slow down a little bit for me and I felt that a lot of it was pretty repetitive and I didn't really like a lot of the characters anymore, / they just didn't give me a lot of They just didn't give me a lot. Maybe that's the right word, actually. Yeah, some of the characters I feel like we didn't get a lot of time with, and I wanted to see more about them, and a lot of it was also kind of confusing about who is who and if people were actually dead or not. And I know that is probably, you know, the whole thing of the book, but it was a little bit confusing. There were also parts where I was thinking, oh, I kind of maybe wanted to hear a little bit more about that. So if you read the book, you know what the Dream King means in this case, but I felt like it was really, we brushed over that super quickly, and I was like, wait, give me more. This is interesting. Give me more. But then I just didn't get any more. So yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed with some of the choices made in the book. I felt like it could have been a lot more interesting and the pacing could have been a little bit better. Like I said, the beginning was very good, and we went on. It was very fun and very interesting to read. And then as we went towards the middle, it became a little bit repetitive and a little bit boring. And then once we were past the 80%, it became good again. I did like the plot twist. I think the plot twist was pretty good. Also, once I read the plot twist, I was kind of thinking like, now that you said it, sure. So overall, I'd say I'd rate this book 3 stars. Not the best book I've ever read, but definitely also not the worst. Would I read more by Grady Hendrix? Maybe. For now, not so much. I'm just not entirely sure if his books are for me. I have heard a lot about the Southern Vampire Slayer Club, I think it's called, or something like that, which apparently people really like. But yeah, for me, his book so far was just fine. It was good, it was fun, it was cute, it was, you know, it had its moment. But it's not a book that I will probably remember forever. It's just a book that I'm like, okay, you know, sure, I read it and that's that. Thank you so much for watching, and a big thank you to Lois for picking this book for me. I had a great time, and I hope you had a great time reading my book as well. You can click the card over here to watch her video and see what you thought of my book. I hope this encouraged you to do a book swap with one of your friends or family members sometimes, just to see what's out there and maybe pick up a book that you wouldn't by yourself. Thanks again for watching. I'd love it if you'd subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me. We are so close to 20,000. It is absolutely bizarre. You also want to be in the video? Yeah? Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye guys!